welcome back to my channel. How is everyone today? Just getting everything set up. Morning. Well, it's morning here anyway, so evening if it's evening over there. Still waking up. Hi Sharon. Hi Cheryl and Kathy. Hi guys, thanks for coming in. We'll start to see everyone coming through now. Just got a little cup with all my pencils in it today. I've got a lot to use today. We'll just wait for a few more to come in. Hi Debbie. Hi Shadow. Come to say hi to everybody. Say hello. Hi Rebecca. She was all warm and cozy in front of the sun in the window just before, but she hears me talking to everyone, so she's got to come and say hi. Now go to bed. Nope, she's not having it today. She's going to sit and look at me, I think. No, stop that. You're getting into mischief now. She's going to be a rat bag, I think. Hi Angela. Hi Loretta. We've got a few coming in, so hopefully we'll get a few more to finish off week 3 of our Girl with Lilies. Hi Melissa. Oh, a wedding dress. I got my daughter's Deb in a couple of weeks, so we're going for alterations for her dress next week. So today we're going to be doing the lilies. I've done lilies a couple of times before, so I wanted to try and do these ones slightly different coloured to what we've done previously. So I've got some pretty pinks and reds here and some greens. I also added to my list of colours a fineliner, a dark pink fineliner. I'm using the Staedler Triplus fineliner. This is like a deep pink colour. The only reason I decided to use this because it was a little bit easier going over the top of the paper once it's burnished down, so I had to put the little dots on at the end. Hi Randy. So that's the only sort of extra thing that I added in. I've got my Caran full blender in case I need it, but I don't think I will today because I'm going to be burnishing the paper down with the white Polychromos pencil today. So my Polychromos pencil is probably about that long, so it's in an extender. The colours that I'm going to be using are 115 dark cadmium orange, I've got Rose Carmine 124. I've got Pale Geranium Lake 121. Hi Dawn, thanks for dropping in. I've loved seeing everybody's images too, they've been awesome. I've got Dark Red, what, 225? Oh, that's no good, Sharon. My extender, I actually brought these from China on eBay, and my husband actually had to go in and drill out them a little bit because they were too small. They didn't fit any pencils but Prismas, so he had to fix that up for me. The other colour I've got in the red is 219, which is Deep Scarlet Red. Hi Nick. Sherry. I haven't seen anyone else come in. Misbehavin'. I've got Cadmium Yellow Lemon 205. I've got Light Green 171. I've got Earth Green Yellowish 168. That's a strange way to name a pencil, Yellowish. Anyway, Leaf Green, which is 112. Hi Kenneth. I've got, hi Jacinth. Excuse me. Who else has come in there? Low, hi Low. I've got Permanent Green Olive 167. And I've got Permanent Green 266. And I'm just going to put them back in my cup until I need them. Bit noisy. So we might just start on who's following along today, or are we just watching and going to follow later? Phthalo. Well, phthalo. We call it phthalo, but I don't know, is it phaleo? Who knows? Hi Debbie. Following. Awesome. Hi Kim. Barb. How are you? So, I'm going to start with the easy colour. We're going to start with, oh, you can't even see it. This is just weird. It is Cadmium Yellow Lemon 205. I'm going to start with that colour because it's a pretty easy colour to start with. Oh, no worries, Kimberly. Hi, Shirley. Got a few now. I'm going to start on the little stamen parts of the flower, so the little bits that are sticking up. I'll get those bits done because they're fairly simple. There's no blending or anything needed in those. So I'll zoom in. Look at all those shadows. Trying to fix my lights. I think I need them in front of me though. So I'm going to use that Cadmium Yellow Lemon, which is kind of like a, if I was using Prismacolors, maybe a chartreuse or light chartreuse. Happy mail, nice. Getting lots of stuff there, Lo. Lucky. I'm going to go into the middle of the flowers here and just do each of these little stems up, and I'm going to leave the little bulby bit on the end where all the pollen sits. We're going to make that yellow, or actually orange I've got there. So we'll do that in a moment. I just want to mark in these areas first because it's, as I said, a little bit quick work and no blending or anything. I'm just shading those in. Hi Shara. I do I? I'm not sure how do you pronounce it. type it how you would pronounce it. So I'm just going into those areas and shading that in. Happy mail is always good, Sharon. We've got happy mail coming today, actually. We got a refurbished Nintendo Wii because ours has just died, and we've got loads of games and we like to play it as a family. It's one of those game consoles that you can play with everybody in the room at the same time, and we usually have a bit of a night of it, and it's been a while, so we decided to buy a refurbished Wii. Oh, lucky Randy. I think that's Aussie slang, Kenneth. We call girls chickies or chick. Serene's a beautiful book. I think I was saying in a couple of streams ago that I find it hard to do the images in them because they're so big. A couple I've actually transferred onto a smaller size paper, which was good, but I do need to do a few more. Oh, you did, Rebecca? I love it. I'm doing Momo Girl tutorials coming out for patrons on Saturday. I've also got a nice long flip through and a speed colouring as well, so excuse me, that's my door. Oh guys, sorry about that. It sounded like someone was trying to break into my front door then. It was just the postie. That would be my Nintendo Wii. There you go. I did think it was coming today. Usually they come a little bit later in the day, so it's early for them. Okay, I've got some I've got some dark cadmium orange, and I'm going to do those little pieces of at the top here where the pollen is. Just going to do them all orange. And just like that. Did I miss any chat or anyone come in that I missed there? I sort of ran off a little bit. Lo, you got a refurbished Wii? That was good. It's we were thinking about just getting rid of all the games, but being the only game console that has, like, we can play 5 people at once, we figured, nah, we'll keep it. We'll get another one. Besides, I love Mario Kart. Which colouring book did you use it in? Had lots of conversations about Copics in the last week. Do you need to make sure that you're using a good quality paper that doesn't pill or blotch up? This is, can you guys hear me? Did everybody lose sound, or was it? I've got 115 dark cadmium orange. Oh, Victorian Darlings. And that's got 1 image per page, doesn't it? I actually brought the PDF one of that one. Jade Summer brought out a new book today, Red Riding Hood. I'm yet to have a look through it. I'm not sure how far behind you guys are. Yeah, paper is, Create Space paper that you get from Amazon is pretty bad. Most of Hannah Lynn's book are on Create Space, so is Jade Summer, Heather Valentine. I just get them as PDFs. It's just a little bit easier, and I can print them when I need them, and I can print them on my own paper. So I've done those little orange pieces now. I'm just going to move those bits out the way. Now, where am I going? Just checking out what I've decided to do for colours. I've got light green somewhere and leaf green for this one. What are these ones here? Now, in the middle of some lilies, you can see like a little green sort of star in this part of the petal down the bottom here. So I actually wanted to mark that in. So I'm just going to try to line them up with the middle of the flower. I'm just going to do a line of leaf green first. So I'm just going in and just trying to keep it in line with the middle of the flower, just doing a line. And that line is going to form into a triangle in a moment. So that one there, you can't actually see the green line. Might see a tiny bit in there. Just going in and marking it in all of those petals first. I've got a Pinterest board on Pinterest with a whole heap of stargazer lilies if you're wanting to have a look at some of them and look at the colours that they can be. It's a huge range. I think pink tends to be the most popular, that's why I've gone for pink. Now, if you're new and haven't been following along, if you want the image, this week will be the last week to be able to download that. Once next week's video goes up, being the last week, the image won't be available after that, so make sure that you've got it now. The group and the event details are in the description, so make sure you check that out too. And if you're watching later and it's not available, you can purchase it on Etsy. I think that might be a leaf, that's alright. I'm going to put a little bit of this in, there's a couple of little buds on, there's another one down the bottom there. I'm just going to put a little bit of this just on the bottom, just like that. And then down the bottom here as well. So I'm just going to follow the lines that are there. Popping a little bit there on the outside as well. Okay, so that's that colour done. Now I'm going to use light green, and on each of these petals I'm just going to go broaden that area out and make a bit of a triangle out of it. So just like that. It's hard to see in this light, but I'm just making two little lines on either side and bringing them up to the point to create a triangle. It's not large, it's just subtle. I'm using fairly firm pressure to do that too. Just like that. So it looks like a bit of a star in the middle of the flower. Maybe that's why they're called star lilies. Don't know. Just trying to build one in behind those long stamen pieces. I missed a little bit there. Oh no, Rebecca. I've got about 100 sheets sitting here, so I'm hoping they'll last me a little while. But I did a Patreon video a little while ago, and I did a whole heap of paper that I had and did some all the pencil brands I had on the different paper brands, which is really good because you could see how papers react to different pencils. But I think I need to do a marker one too. I think it will help people see how markers react with different types of paper. I think they're all out of stock again though. Everyone's buying them up. I did ask the art shop if they could stock it there, but unfortunately the postage costs are far too high for them, so which I'd believe. Having my order delivered from America, the postage was ridiculous. Okay, almost finished. Craft Online, do they still have it? I know that the scrapbook boutique were out. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of that colour into that little pod as well. And the other one, just not quite filling out all of the gaps there yet because we want to put some pink in there. Just like that. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see how it looks all over so far. Hi, Shadow, again. No, go away. Oh. Kaneko Igusa. What's that, Shirley? Oh, okay, Angela. All of my payments come out as US, so the desktop version is much better. The Patreon app is really just a dulled down version of the desktop version of Patreon, so it's still got lots of kinks in it. I noticed that when I post from the app, it's a little bit weird. So doing it on a desktop's much better. I'm going to start with the darkest green colour, which was permanent green. I just had to look then to see. Because they all look on here. This one looks actually darker, but it's not. So I'm going to be using permanent green 266. Hi Amy, thanks for dropping in. So what, it's early there, isn't it? It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, early morning for you. Actually, sorry, before I move on to that colour, I'm just going to grab that leaf green again. I've forgotten to add something in. On the tips of the flower petals, I'll just zoom back in so you can see them closer up. On the tips underneath that petal, I'm just going to put a little line of that up there. So I'm going to do that on all of the, well, let me just find my mono eraser. One thing I didn't have out this morning. No. Alright, so I've just got a little bit of the hair colour in there. I'm just going to rub that out a little bit so I can put the colour in there a little bit better. So just on all of the tips, or the underside of the tips that are showing. I'm just going in and putting a little green dot in there on the underside of the petal that you can see. Some of them you can't see the very tips, so now this one here, there's a little bit of hair missing. I'm just going to grab some Sanguine or something and just fill that in there. I think we used cream in there. Just go fill that out with some cream. A little dark spot of hair in there. So yeah, just coming in and doing the tips of the flowers. I think that was all of them. The ones that I could see anyway. Just a little detail, something a little bit extra. Now we'll go back to the permanent green. Gosh, I think I zoomed in a bit too close there. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So Sharon's going. I missed that. Bye, Sharon. Oh, you're not leaving, you're saying, bye, Kenneth. Okay, let's have a look at these. So what we're going to do now is the leaves. So I'm doing all the stalks and the stems and the leaves of the flower now, and then we'll get to the colouring of the actual flower. So for the permanent green, I'm just coming in from the tip of the leaves and then also from the base. And we're just going to put a few lines. So the leaves are kind of got ribbing down the leaves, so they're not, you know, the normal sort of leaf where it's shaped like that. With the, it's not like that. It is. They are so like that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do the straight lines or ribbing down the center. So I'm doing that line all the way down the middle, and I'm just putting a couple of lines up there as well. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Just going all the way up through the middle. And then I'm just flicking out those lines, a little bit like hair. I'm going to do that on all of the leaves. Bye, Dawn. Catch you next time. All the way down to the bottom ones here. Go like that, and just flicking some lines down and back up again. And the last one over here. I love how that image we did yesterday came out too. I was looking at it today. Those little ones there, I didn't do the line all the way through. I'm also going to use that permanent green, and I'm just going to go down one side of the stems. So I'm just going to pick a side and stick with it. Going on to the left side. Just using a little bit of pressure, but not too much pressure there. and the underside here, like that, and then the same on all the others. Just making sure I do underneath the flower that's overhanging as well, so there'll be a bit of a shadow in there. Not too much detail in these, but just a little bit of detail. Got a leaf there. Tiny spot up there. Okay, I've got some permanent green olive. I'm going to add a little bit of this into these little buds up here as well, just putting some through there. So this has got a bit of an olive tone to it, hence the name, I guess. Just coming in to the leaves and just putting a few more lines in there. So we're just creating the texture there. Just coming beside the section we've already done in the stems as well. Can you see that fairly well? I'll just see if I can a little bit closer. I'm just flicking out, adding this colour over the top. And just gently laying some down into the stem there as well. I can't keep up with the chat today. You guys are so quick. Just lots to get done, that's all. It is going to take us an hour to do those flowers, so I'm just joining those ends together where I can now. I'm leaving some like white space as well, because we're going to go in with that really light colour and lighten that up. Just shading the stem. Hi Charlotte. It's coming up. Hello, Linda. Where have you been hiding this morning? Alright, so I filled in those, and I'm going to do the last colour, which I've picked earth green yellowish. And I'm just going to come in and fill out or shade in the remainder of those white areas in the stems. Just like that. And I'm just going to shade in using little lines the rest of those leaves as well. Putting a little bit into these stems, into the buds. I'm going to put some pink in those, so I'm not too worried about covering them up. So just using lines or strokes to fill in the white space now. I want to leave the texture in there, so there'll be some spaces of white left, which is okay. I'm just going to do that on the other ones as well. Opal, have you been here the whole time? Did I say hi to you? Hello, Opal. I've lost track of people now. Some have left already. Now we've got one more week of this, which will finish the background and the butterflies, and then we'll be having a week's break, and then we'll be doing a Heather Valentine image. Now Heather has not been well, so I will see how we're going to get an image. We may not be able to get a custom one yet. I haven't spoken to her again yet, so I'll have a chat with her and see how she's feeling. Otherwise, we'll be using an image that she's already done, which is fine too. So make sure that in the group, check out the top of the group and the event sections to know what's going on next. Also hit the subscribe button, because when I set up a live video, there'll be a notification that comes up to say that as well. Did you guys watch Sammy's stream last night? I was snoring by then. Hi Sylvie, thanks for dropping in. Zooming out so you can have a look. So that's what we've done so far. We're going to start with the flowers. Now, I'll zoom back in so we will do, let's do one of these first. Let's try this one first. Alright. I'm going to go, I've got my pencil fairly sharp actually. I'm just gonna, it's already been blunted off because I've used it a little bit. Oh, so Heather was on. That's why she's not here today. I've just sharpened it up so it's nice. It's got a nice point. You might have to resharpen it after every petal, but see how you go. I want to keep the lines really thin here. So from the middle of that triangle that we did with the green, hi Shadow, I'm just going to do a dark line like that. And then I'm going to go around the little triangle that we did with it as well, just like that. Shadow saying good morning, Linda. Just coming up from the center and all the way to the edge there, and then around our little star. Hello. Are you feeling annoying now, are you? Oh, sorry guys. What colour? Good question. Dark red. Dark red. Dark red. Okay, I'm going to do the same. Go on to the edges of each of those triangles and then just coming down. Now this one's a bit awkward because it's kind of bent right over. I'm just going to pop it there. That'll do. And the same for these. So I'm using fairly firm pressure and the lines are really quite thin. Okay, so I'll start moving down now to the others. We have beautiful blue skies here in Victoria today. Yes, Shadow, we do. Why don't you go sleep and lay in the sun? She's like, no. Well, they said it was going to be a killer summer last year and we didn't really have a summer. It was really quite dull. Felt like to me anyway. Don't say tomorrow will be horrible. It is Melbourne though, we do have beautiful 1 minute, crappy the next. Not like sunny Queensland. It always seems to be nice and warm. Back up the top. So much easier to do live with markers. I don't know why, but it seems that way. Pencil's getting a bit blunt now. Need more concentration, that's why. Exactly. Okay, I've just got one more left down the bottom here. Yeah, Shadow's voice is not nice at 11 o'clock at night when she's hungry, and we haven't gone to bed yet. Completely different meow. She just puts her cute meow on for show. Don't you, Shadow? No mischief, you. This one's covered over by the little stamen parts in the thing again. Shadow. Can't hear her climbing into stuff yet, but I think she's going to get vicious. Okay, so this is the middle of the flower we're marking out now. And I want to Shadow, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just got the helicopters going over and she always freaks out. I'm just going to put a bit of a dark line through the little bud here as well. Just down the middle bit. Just to show a little bit of shadow in there. And that'll do. There we go. Now I've got the next lightest colour. Good question, she says. Okay, I've got deep Scarlet Red. And we're going to continue on those lines that we've just done. So I'm actually going to go out from the sides and just bring a line all the way down. Like that. I want to leave a little bit of a white gap in between them. I'm just going to move out a little bit and put a few lines out here as well. Just using like strokes of the pencil. Just deepening up those areas there. Just going to move that out a little bit on that one. What we want is this sort of area here to be quite dark, and then these areas on the outside will be a lot lighter. Okay, sorry. I saw your question. Shara, I've always liked art. I've always liked craft. I've made ceramic pieces. I've got terracotta clay pots and dragons and things like that. All the way back from school. I've always been into crafty things, so always done like I did scrapbooking for a while, photography, a few things like that. And I've always loved painting, so acrylic painting, and colouring I started probably about 3 years ago. I'm just going to repeat that step on all of those flowers. It's harder on the curved ones here because you just need to sort of make it up a little bit, I think. So yeah, started colouring about 3 years ago. The reason I started colouring because I used to work for a large insurance company here in Australia, and it was extremely stressful. I struggled with being nervous on the phone all the time, and customers are just rude. I think here in Australia they can be more rude, so I don't know why. They just are. And I decided to start colouring as a stress relief. So while I was talking to people on the phone, I was colouring in the background, made my calls a little bit longer, a little bit easier to handle, and it meant that a customer could have a conversation with me without getting too stressed out. Yeah, so I started with a Joanna Basford book, actually. One of the first ones, I can't remember, Enchanted whatever it is, Forest I think it is, and just basic colouring really. And then I did a few online classes with Kit and Clouder, and I won my first set of markers, which was awesome, and I haven't looked back since then actually. I've done a few online courses with markers and just decided to start doing this. But my husband is an artist. He likes to do airbrushing and things like that. And we all used to paint together as a family. We'd get out the acrylic paints and some boards, and we would all paint together. Bit of fun. My daughter's doing art at school too. My other daughter's doing creative writing and photography. So yeah, we're all a little bit artistic, I would guess. Do you know, I haven't coloured a Joanna Basford book in so long because I found colouring books and digital stamps a lot less daunting, I guess. Not as detailed, and a little bit easier and quicker to do. Now when I look at a Joanna Basford book, I freak out because they're so detailed and they take so long. So being a bit of a perfectionist, I look at it and think, that's going to take me too long. So I tend not to do them. I do love flowers. They're one of my things that I like. And I'm currently doing an online course in watercolour, which is pretty good. It's a lot like colouring with pencil, the way that I'm learning, so it's quite nice. It's more realism. And I hurt my back a year ago when I uploaded one of my first tutorials. I'd hurt my back. I had a bulging disc, and I was also diagnosed with extreme degenerative arthritis in my spine, so I couldn't work, and here I am still doing colouring and tutorials, and got Patreon now. Yeah, trying to earn myself a little bit of money so that I can continue doing it full time, because I can't do much else. I guess I've tried not to let my injury get me down too much. And moved on and found something that I really love doing and that I'm good at. Which is my only hope for everybody in this world. I missed a petal here. I'm just going to go back in with the dark red. Finding out that a lot of people use colouring as a bit of a stress relief, and I think we need that sometimes. I'm not exactly sure what's going on up there on that flower. It's a bit weird. I like to help people. I've had a bit of resistance, but in general most people are pretty good. But yeah, I only want to share what I know, and when so many people use it as a stress relief, it's so nice to be able to have a beautiful image and feel proud of what you've coloured as well. Be able to show people and say, I did that. Oh, off camera, sorry. I'm looking. Thank you. Put it in caps and then I can see it. I can just flick back up to it. Oh, Shara, that's sad to hear, but it's good to hear that you've found a way to still do it. A lot of people I can see have been through injuries and things like that. It is hard, and I find that this is a way of getting through it. And it's a great way to meet people too who are in similar situations. Can't really see this flower at the back here, so I'm just sort of making it up as I go. Sometimes you just got to do it like that, and the eye kind of fills in most of it anyway, and makes it look how it's supposed to look. It's strange what our brains can do. Thanks, Katrina. Yeah, I did. I booked into, I didn't need to do a course per se, but I wanted to get the Copic certifications. So they run a 2-day course. Usually they run it in every state, but for some reason this year they only did it, actually I do know the reason. But they've done it just in Victoria, and I guess I just wanted to have that Copic certification sort of thing next to my name, so it didn't look like I was just sort of making it up. So yeah, I did get in, and also Linda's doing it as well, but there was 2 days. So one day is for people who are just crafters and wanting to know a little bit more about Copic markers, and then the second day is for people who perhaps may be training and things like that. So I wanted to do that one as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I will let you know how it goes. I might do a bit of a blog or a vlog and let you guys know how it went and how I enjoyed it. I'm just moving down to the bottom flowers now. It is a shame you couldn't get in, but I did think that it would fill up pretty quick considering it was the only one running in Australia this year. I put my name down last year and I was expecting, because usually they do it at this time of the year every year, but last year I put my name down and didn't get a call or an email or anything. The girl who actually does the training was actually pregnant and had a baby, so she's been on maternity leave. So yeah, I've been waiting for the day. So Katrina, I'm colouring with pencils. I tried to mix it up. So these colour alongs, I've been mainly doing pencil because that's what people have been voting for. And on Patreon, I do a bit of a mix of both. I always do colour conversions though, so even if I do Copic marker tutorials, I give a conversion to pencil as well. I'm just reading through some of the comments there, guys. I'm sorry if I've missed a question. I like colouring now as a hobby too, but I'm trying to make a living out of it. I have to put more time aside for my own personal learning now. I find that I get carried away with helping everyone and I forget that I need to increase my knowledge too, so I need to stay learned. Thanks, Sylvie. I'm kind of doing medium pressure here too, guys. Probably didn't say that before. We're going to be blending it out with the white Polychromos pencil today, so hi Cindy. I have I've done some birds, and I've done, actually I haven't done a Patreon video with an animal yet, I don't think, have I? Guys who are patrons. I don't think I've done any animals as such. I'm doing I'm doing one now. I'll just show you quickly, a little peek here. There's my little fox. It's quite cute. I've done a couple of images with animals in them, but I haven't done any full tutorials on them. I did an ant. I've done plenty of flowers and people. Might have to do some animals. Done dragons. They're animals, aren't they? No, I might have to do some animals, eh? Momo Girl's got some animals. Oh yes, I have. I've done a couple of squirrels and bunnies in Dia Lenahan's images. You're right. I did, Linda. I've done a couple of those. Cute little bunnies. I did an owl, which is actually a full video that's not on Patreon. It's actually just on my channel. I did an owl of Selena, Molly, I think it was Selena. Who was it? I don't even know now. One of them. I did an owl. I've done lots of birds. I like birds too. I've done a couple of, I did an owl out of Tim Jeff's book, which came out beautiful. I think I did a raw video of that for patrons. Okay, Randy, thanks for coming over, dropping in and colouring along. I've done so many now, I keep forgetting how many or what I've done. Hi, Shadow. Shadow agrees, too many. Thanks, Shirley. I think doing art and being sort of doing art at high school and seeing things in that way helps me to learn a little bit quicker and pick things up quicker than some might. My nana used to be a wonderful artist and she was always my idol, so teach me to look at things in a different way. She was always positive and influential like that in my life, so, and she encouraged us to express ourselves too, which was good. Let's move out again. Zoom out. So you can see I've done that part so far. Now I'm going to bring in the pale Geranium Lake, and I'm going to extend on what we've already done. So just zoom in a bit. I don't want to go, I want to leave a bit of a white gap here, so I don't want to go too close to that edge, but I'm going to just go on the outside of that, and I'm just going to extend that colouring up and around just softly. I'm not pushing any pressure down, I'm just laying or shading in the colour in that area. I'm going a fair distance from the edge because I've got this really light pink to come over the top with in a moment. I'm just going to put some more lines in the top here and just gently, softly go in there like that. I want to make sure that this white line on either side of the petal stays sort of free like that. But I'm just going to try and neaten it up a little bit now. Okay, does that make sense? So I always, yes, like Linda said, I do always do a colour list conversion from marker to pencil because I know that not everybody has markers. And the techniques that I've used with pencils in pencil videos, you can pick up how to use the pencils from those, and then you've got your conversion, so you can go ahead and convert them to the colours that you would use in pencil. I do my best to match them up anyway, and I've started to do some pencil to pencil as well because I know that not everybody has you know, Pablos and even polys and things like that. So I tried to do it to other sets as well. I'm just starting to do those conversions. It's taking me a little bit longer. But yeah, I've done like a Pablo tutorial, and I've given the colours for Prisma and Polys and Black Widows as well. I'm waiting for Black Widow to bring out, he's bringing out a skin tone set soon, so I'm waiting for those because then we can sort of do a bit more with them. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more even for everybody. Obviously there's still a lot more marker than there is pencil, because marker takes me a lot less time to do. The tutorials are a lot quicker and the videoing's a lot quicker too, so sometimes when I'm overloaded or working on a pencil image that's taking me a while, there might be a few marker ones, but I do try to get both if I can. Just curving around the shape of the flower here and neatening up those areas. But yeah, it's $5 when you first sign up for Patreon, and that pays for, oh my gosh, Shara, thank you so much. You're such a gem, and it's such a big help. Patreon, it is $5 when you first start, and then it's $5 a month on the first of each month. So if it's coming up to the end of the month and you're thinking about signing up, then wait until after the 1st, so then you just got to pay for that month. I did have someone sign up on the last day of the month, and I just refunded that back to them because they didn't get a couple of weeks worth of Patreon. So I did have a couple of people had trouble logging in, or they forgot their login details, so I'm still trying to help them with that. Patreon's not the most perfect forum, but it's the only forum that I know of that you can do a subscription like that. So yeah. Thanks, Sylvie. Shara, that's just so awesome. Thank you. Such a big help. It goes a long way in getting, you know, suitable programs to do video editing, and you know, products to obviously, you know, look at my white pencil. I go through these things really often, so it does go a long way to help with supplies and things, and keeping up with artists and things like that as well. I'm pretty lucky. I've had quite a few artists offer me stuff so that I can advertise for them, which is good. It's a great way for you guys to see new stuff too. You can stop at any time, Kimberly. You just have to go in and cancel it. No problems at all. Just remember that the money does come out on the 1st of each month, so if you were thinking of cancelling it, wait until close to the end of the month, so you at least get that time in that month and your money or value's worth. So there's currently quite a few tutorials on Patreon. Pretty much every single speed colouring I've done on my channel, I've actually done a video for. I don't have Twitch. I've seen it, but there's so many things to learn. I'm just not technically minded. It's I'm not too bad, but some things I just look at and go, no, too hard basket. I really just started to learn about YouTube Live, so I haven't done a lot of live before recently. Yeah, I've got Vimo now. I have to pay for it monthly because some of my YouTube unlisted videos were getting shared by accident, of course, and I've moved it across to Vimo just to keep them a little bit more protected, because you guys are paying for them, so I don't want sort of everybody to be able to see that content. It's not fair to you guys who are paying. So I've just moved all of my Patreon videos over to is it Vimo or Vimeo? Vimeo. Who knows? One of those. Katrina, I don't give out the image. Obviously I don't have the rights to the images. Sometimes when I get images from artists, I usually like to do them here on live so everybody can get them. But for Patreon, I do images from books and digital prints and things like that. I've had a few requests for things too, so when people have requested, I've gone and got that and been able to do that for them. But I figure doing colouring book artists is a lot easier. I've also done Patreon stuff for Jasmine Beckett as well, so advertising other patrons. Yeah, sorry. Did I go back on? Am I on again? I'm just trying to catch up again. Yes, I will do another Serene image soon. I've done a couple of marker ones, and I've done two halves of 2 images out of Serene, and I just haven't done them. I'm trying to get the Christine Caran Grayscale Fairy book finished. I want to do the whole book of that one. I think this is so hard. I think that's a petal in there. Getting a little bit behind myself here. What's the time? I should be hurrying up. I haven't got much time left. Try and get this done. Good thing about Patreon too is that I've got a couple of people that pay more than the monthly thing, and I'm very, very thankful to those people too. It's good that you can choose what you'd like to give. So Kimberly, the Patreon videos, the links are on Patreon. I post them, and some of them are on YouTube as private or unlisted videos, and from now on they'll be on Vimeo or Vimo, whatever it is, that one. So yeah. And the colour lists and conversions and things are usually in a PDF format. Some of the videos also, they're raw videos, so I don't actually speak over them. Some of them are just videos of what I've coloured, so you can just sort of follow along yourself. And I do that because some people like an image that I've done, but I haven't had time to do a full part of it. So yeah, you can still have a go at an image I've done. Obviously you can ask me questions if you follow along a raw video and you're not sure of something, but yeah, I do a bit of everything. I try to anyway. So I've still got a fairly big gap. Also too, I didn't sort of mention that I was going to just do under here a little bit as well on those curled over parts of the leaf. Just filling that in. So Vimeo, like this video. Thank you, Shara. Missed a little bit. I'm not sure. This is really hard to see up here. I think that's a leaf curled around there. Sometimes you've got to make it up. I think I just said that before. I'm making it up. Making that one up. I completely missed this one with the other colour, but that's okay. We can make it up. Not all flowers are exactly the same. Are they? We could argue that every flower is completely different. Just like a human. Alright. Yeah, it is, Shirley, I found that it's going to be much better. It was just something that happened. I noticed that one of my videos got viewed quite a few times, and it turned out that it was in someone's liked videos list, and somebody had then seen the liked videos list because it was public to everybody, and of course then some other people were watching the videos. So now I don't have to worry too much about the newer ones. I still would like people to be careful with the older ones though, because as I said, you guys are paying for them, so I would prefer them to stay for you guys. There are a couple of really basic videos on there for people who have never really coloured at all. I'm just doing a little bit of the pod here now. I'm going over the green a little bit and just leaving a bit of a gap for the lighter pink. I think I'm nearly done. I'm just moving down to the bottom one now. Just on that bottom one, I'm just going to colour in a little bit of pink around the edges. Just like that, and I'm using really light pressure here. I'm not putting any pressure on, I'm just shading over it. Just like that. They weren't stealing as such, but they were, some people don't realise it though, like, it's hard, YouTube's not... Oh, look, any forum's not really easy to use, so but if your liked videos are set to public and people can actually see your liked video list, then those, if those people who were patrons watched my video and liked it, and it was a secure one or a Patreon one, and it got liked, and it actually, the liked video would actually then come up on your list. So they don't actually, on Vimeo, they if you like something, it doesn't matter, it doesn't get become public to other people unless I say it can become public to other people. So whereas on YouTube for unlisted videos, that's not the case. So if you were to save a video on Patreon, then you need to save it to a private playlist that no one else can see. Hope that makes sense. I know that a lot of these things aren't easy to navigate, so yeah, so when you do a playlist, just make the playlist private. So the little earth symbol is actually a lock. Hi, Kenny. Actually, it was Linda asked me about it, and I was showing her, and I went and had a look on Linda's, and actually my Patreon ones were okay, but there were some others that we noticed, and I went, oh, I didn't realize that happened. And that's when I realized that you could see people's liked video list. So yeah, it's funny. Just happened that way, doesn't matter. Okay, almost done. Yay! Now what I might do is I might try and finish off a whole flower, and then if I don't get to finish it all, you guys can at least see what you're doing off camera for next week. No worries. No, of course you didn't, Linda. There's no problems. Angela, it's okay. A little bit of practice and you'll figure it out. I've got Rose Carmine. I'll just do this flower here because it's in the camera here. I'm actually going to go just lightly line out all the way close to the very edge. Just really lightly. Just like that. And then I'm just going to colour over everything there. Just like that. And I'm just going to blend it out with the white. So I'm just going a little bit closer to the edge now, using fairly light pressure. You can hear me scratching away on the paper there. Okay, and then after I've done that, I'm going to get the white white Polychromos pencil, and I'm just going to go in using circular motions and just soften off the very edge of the petal, just like that. I move a tiny bit closer so you can see. Just going in circular motions, just like that. My alarm's going off here, telling me that it's 11 o'clock and you guys might want to go. I'm going over the top of all the dark colours as well, using circular motions, going into the middle where that white line is and just softening off the tooth in there as well, and then just blending it all out. Just like that. No, I didn't. I did work out what colours I wanted to use. I have like a little piece of paper that I print out a couple of different smaller images out just so I can play around with colours, and then once I've picked my colours I'll go from there. That's why I don't add up my colours or put in my colours until the last minute, because sometimes I'm still not sure where I want to go with it. So okay, now I'm going to use the dark red again, and just dark red, yep, and just go in and just deepen up that middle line again. And I'm just going to put a couple of crease lines in there, just like that. And there's a couple in the edge of the flower there as well. I'm just going to go over those. And then I've got that Triplus fineliner, or it's just a fineliner that's coloured, and it's pink, dark pink, or burgundy, whatever. It probably wouldn't matter. You could use the dark red pencil for it and try that, but I found that it's harder to indent the paper because I've already flattened the tooth off. And I'm just going to put some little pink dots on the flower, just like that. And we're going to repeat that over the whole image. Who's gone? Bye, Kimberly. Yeah, if you want something, let me know. I'll try to do it, especially patrons, you know, because I want you guys are paying for it, and I want you guys to be able to get the most out of it. So let me know if there's something. Obviously, if it's something that I can't get or whatever, then that's going to make it harder. But yeah, I do have a couple of Molly Harrisons. I've already done a few of them. I just got to pull in my nail here. So yeah, I got a few. Now, where was I? I'm going to keep going. You guys happy for me to keep going? If you need to go, you can, of course, but I'm going to keep going. Hi, Shadow. Shadow doesn't want me to keep going. She wants me to stop. She's saying, pat me, pat me, pat me. Yes, yes, keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. I actually need a bit of a drink, so I'm just going to have a drink. Alright, I've got a pull in my nail and I keep getting it hooked on everything. Just zoomed out a bit there. Now there is a tutorial. I coloured an image by Jenny Lewin with star lilies as well, so if you want to have a look at something slightly different in colour and things like that, I did that one with Prismacolor, I think, so you can go check that one out. I'm back onto the pink carmine now, by the way. Have I answered everyone's questions? Amy. Oh yeah, Opal, I've got 5 of those books. I've only done 2 flip throughs actually. I've got 2 more there that I need to do. I just don't get enough time. I've done the Chinese ghosts one, and I did the I can't remember what the other one was called. But yeah, I've done 2, but I've still got another 3 sitting there. Some of those are really pretty too. Oh, I have so many to do. I'm just going to zoom back out again because I'm a little bit close there. I was doing those tiny little spots, but now I'm gone bigger. Also too, if you wanted something in from a book and you wanted it to be a marker specifically, or a brand of pencil specifically, just ask me that as well. Yes, Shadow. They're allowed to ask for stuff. Bye, Charlotte. I am a good enabler, so yeah. I'm using white again now, just to flatten off that tooth. Shadow really wants me to play. She's got her ball out and she's in her tunnel. I actually got on Sunday last week I did a live video doing my diamond painting, and everyone got to see Shadow. And you know what the funny thing is, when I got off camera, she started rolling around on the floor like a dog. Like, why didn't you do that when we're on camera? Okay. Just softening off the edges. Opal pencils. I started off with Polychromos pencils. And then I got some Prismacolors. I have to say Prismacolors are a lot more work for me, and I tend not to go for them because I can't. I mean, I'm happy to do tutorials with them, but I tend to, if it was my choice, I tend to go with Polychromos. But it all depends on what paper you're using, and things like that as well. Prismacolors have a lot more vibrant colours in them. I find polys go on a lot of different types of paper better though, if that makes any sense at all. I think Prismas can be temperamental. You've got to be careful with the paper that you use because the wax build up and things like that on them. And I think it depends on your style as well. I have a very supporting husband too. I'm very lucky. I think because he's artistic as well and he loves my creative talent too. He's really good. I was just showing him some more pan pastels on the weekend and he was like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get some more. Oh, did you, Linda? I thought you had that one. Yeah, I brought the Japanese girls and the faces one as well, but I wasn't as impressed with the faces one as the Japanese book. I like that one a lot better. I'm just using that fine liner to put the dots in this one. It's your own taste though, like not everybody has the same taste, so you resisted it? Yeah. I if I was going to recommend one, I still would have recommended the Japanese one. I think it's got a lot nicer pictures in it. Shadow's in her tunnel. She's going to start sounding like she's crinkling. I've still got a Christine Caran group colour challenge to do yet. Do that this weekend. and finish off my fox. So I've done one whole flower. What's available in PDF? Right, what? Because, you know, I can get PDFs. Japanese Girls, I've got a PDF file of it, a version of it. Yes, Linda, you're an enabler too, you know, by the way. You, yes, I brought, yeah, that Disney Portraits one, and yeah. I try and buy everything as PDFs if I can, because I like to be able to print on my own paper. But I'm lucky enough to have an A3 printer, so so I can copy them onto my own paper anyway. Gosh, I've been having terrible nightmares. I feel so tired. Yeah, I love my 3D print, my A3 printer. No, I got Elegant Faces, but I probably won't colour anything from it. Shadow! Yes, hello, I know. What? Really? You're making it take so much longer. Mum, I know. This is the normal. If I don't pat her or play with her. And it gets louder and louder. She's ignoring me now. She's run off to her bed, so she might be quiet now. I think she's going to settle down, thankfully. You are spoiled, Kimberly. I wish that was the case. That's not what happens. Bye, Angela. Thanks for dropping in. I don't have that many physical books, Linda. You saw my physical books. I don't have a lot. Most of mine are in PDF. You know, there are some that obviously I can't get in PDF, so you have to. I'm just putting this light pink over the rest of these buds here as well. Yeah, I've got my PDFs all sorted out into Artist, and then I've got a new folder inside that for every book. And all of the PDFs I've turned into JPEGs so that I have the individual images as well. So I have a 3 terabyte hard drive and a terabyte hard drive that are completely chockers now, full of images. Yes, it's crazy. Sharon, no reason. I just, there's only probably 1 or 2 in there that I really liked that I might do. But yeah, no, there was no particular reason. I just preferred the ones from the Japanese book. But yeah, nothing. I have other things that I probably would prefer to colour. And that's the problem when you have so many books. You just choosing an image is sometimes impossible. That's why I like you guys to give me requests. We've got a Michelle Tracy colour along coming up after Heather Valentine, so I'm going to have a look and see which one we're going to have for that. But I did have Kathy, or was it Kathy or Teresa? One of them asked me for some dragons, so I definitely have to get a dragon done soon. Yeah, well, I was just going to say that, Shirley, you're just talking about rubber stamps, but you can buy individual colouring pages on Etsy, and I quite like that because it means that you can get one image rather than a whole book too, if you just like one image. The Mariola Butic, I've got a few of hers as individual stamps or digital files, digital pages. Kathy. I colour whatever inspires me at the time. It's every new book I see. Almost done, guys, and then I'll let yous go. I've just got to go over everything with the white now. Got white again. I get inspired. I think it's a bit of both, a bit of mood and a bit of like, I'll look at it and go, I think that'll have that color in it, and I like that color. I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of the actual image and what you're feeling like on the day. Yeah. When I see an image that inspires me, I'll automatically start thinking about what colors I would use, so I guess they're both kind of linked. And I don't know, I'm actually due to pick another one. I've got that little fox one there. That one's by Eva Nukunen, by the way, that little fox. She does, they're all grayscale images. She's got some line art as well, but I'm just doing that one actually just to show you guys how to do a really dark grayscale, and I really liked the fox, so there you go. I've seen something in it and I like it, then that's how I get my inspiration. I like the shape of a face or eyes or something. I can, see it and go, I know what I would do with that. This image, for example, I didn't know we were doing this image until the day before I posted it. So yeah, then because I've been given an image, I think sometimes it's a little bit harder to decide what to do because you don't have that inspiration to do it straight away. You've got to sort of find the inspiration. And to do that, then I just start picking out colours and playing with it to see where it might go. I'm also on a couple of colouring teams too, so sometimes we're given stuff to do, and yeah, you just got to find it. Well, you don't need another one, okay? That's a Patreon exclusive anyway, so I wouldn't expect you to go and become a patron just to get an image. Although that's what I did for Jasmine Beckett. To get those beautiful images. I'd really love for Jasmine to bring out a Disney one, because she does all of those beautiful Disney paintings. So I'd hope that she could get rights to them at some stage so we can see some of those. That would be awesome. I think she's got a new book coming out. I didn't buy the fox image. That's what I was saying, Linda. That was a Patreon exclusive one. I found Eva through Jasmine Beckett, actually. She was one of her patrons, and I went, oh, I'm going to have a look at that. And yeah. But the reason I picked it was because the image is really dark, like some of Jasmine's are, so you could use the same colours on some of those grayscale ones. And I know that you can get a lot of books with really dark grayscale, and a lot of people get put off by that, so it's why I'm doing this one. Just using white still, going over all of those. Well, you can have it, you just need to be a patron of hers. I actually really like the sky. Look at that sky, look how it came out. It's so pretty. I'm just going to keep teasing you there. There'll be a speed colouring for it anyway. And I'm using Prismacolors for that one. I find that I like Prismacolors when I'm doing smaller areas, because they're so pointed and you can get them nice and sharp. And they're bright. They're really good in those squeezy areas. Her name's Eva Nikunen. Eva Nikunen. I'm her patron, so if you pop over, you should be able to see who I'm a patron of on Patreon somewhere. I'm a patron of a couple of people: Jasmine Beckett, Eva, who else? Oh, Kirsty Partridge. I think I'm a member of 4. I don't know the other one. Gosh, how bad do I feel? Kirsty. She's awesome. Why can't I? Oh, goodness me. I know who it is. Molly Harrison is the other one. Goodness me. How terrible of me. Sorry, Molly. I'm also Molly Harrison's patron. She now has Patreon as well. And she's posting up a couple of images per month for $5 patrons. It's really good. So far I've gotten heaps of Molly Harrison images, and you know what, I've only done one since being her patron. Jasmine, Kirsty, Molly, and Eva. Eva, I'll probably only be a patron for a little while longer. I like to try and check out other people and other artists as well when they come up on Patreon. Not a lot of them have Patreon yet. I'm so close to finishing. I hate being this close yet so far away. I like how these flowers ended up coming out. I like that sort of seashell pink sort of colour. It's not really bright pink, it's got a bit of red and a bit of orange in it. I like it. Bit different to the really bright pink ones that I did in Jenny's picture. Animals. I've actually got a few of Tim Jeff's books and I want to do a few more grayscale ones, making them look so realistic. I love them. But Jade Summer brought out a stuffed animals book, so I thought I might have a flick through that and see what's in that. I've got that sitting there. I think Jade Summer we're going to start doing some individual colouring pages too, which would be good because it means that I could probably pick stuff that is on as single pages and you guys just have to get one page rather than a whole book. But yeah. One more leaf, I think. This one. We're going to be doing blue butterflies next week. And I might use a pan pastel for the background. Shocker. Just a little bit of red just to deepen up some of those areas. Throwing it away. Yes, so evens, I think they just stay up. Opal, who was asking me, what else did you ask, Opal? Because I missed that. Eva's on Patreon, and yes, I'm pretty certain her image is still up. Also, Jasmine's the same too. If you become a patron of Jasmine, you can go back and find her images from previously as well, which is really good. I'm not sure about Molly Harrison, if she keeps them up or not. She may actually take them down each month, I'm not sure. They all do it differently. I'm just going into those areas where the lines were marked in, and I'm just marking those in now. Oh, I missed a bud. The door. Linda, did you say it was the door? Oh, you had some happy mail. Lucky. I have to wait till Sunday to get some of my happy mail. Alright. I'm just going to put in my dots and then I'm ready to go. So thank you guys who are new and If you want to follow along, check out the link and join the group. To join the group, you need to answer a couple of questions, and then Linda or myself will accept you. And actually, Opal, are you on Facebook? Do I have you on Facebook? Oh, my hands. Okay, do I have you as a friend on Facebook? Because have I added you into the Patreon group? I don't even know. There's so many now. Send me a message. Send me a message on Facebook through Messenger. Tell me who you are, and same for anyone else who's a patron. Let me know, because I lose track. Some of those dots I'm doing as lines. I'm nearly finished. I love it. Look at that. It came out awesome. I love that colour. I can't wait to colour in Penelope from Wreck-It Ralph. How long will it take to come from England, Linda, do you think? Bye, Debbie. Oh. What have I done now? What am I done? What have I done? I'm confused. All good. I'm good. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to keep dotting, okay? I probably should get off, because my eldest is probably wanting breakfast and it's nearly lunchtime. At least we got the flowers done, eh? That would have been a lot quicker if I wasn't talking so much. See what happens when you make me talk? Yeah, I'm going to do the background. Bye, Sylvie. Thanks for dropping in. I'll probably use pan pastels, maybe. I'm thinking pale blue. Because we're going to have some nice bright blue colours in there. No worries, Lo. Thanks for dropping in. I'm almost done now anyway. I'm just going to finish off these dots, and then I'll scan it in for you guys and pop it up in the group. I think that fineliner was much easier than the pencil would have been. So check out the flower. There they are. I'll have a look back here. They are all done, guys. Beautiful. Alright, guys. You could use any soft pastel for the background. It won't matter. As long as it's just a pale blue, you don't have to have pan pastels. I've got a whole box of pastels that I used before I got my pan pastels, so all good. yes, butterflies and background next week. So we're going to do blue butterflies, and I'll probably do a pale blue background there. And then we'll be finished. And then we'll have a week off and pick, I don't know, some random picture to do in that week. And then we'll be starting in October with Heather Valentine for our October Halloween special. And we'll be doing Heather Valentine in the 4 weeks of October. So pretty exciting, lots of fun, and another free image for you guys in the group as well. So yeah, good. Try and do as much as I can for you guys. Alright, I'm heading off now. I'm losing my voice a little bit actually, so I'm going to go give it a bit of a break and have some lunch soon, because it's already 11:30 in the morning here. So yeah, almost lunchtime. Alright guys, bye, and thank you so much again for hanging around, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye guys.